this on me for now, right now.
Uh-oh.
I was the one telling the people out here, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, if they lost the first 2 football games of the season, would still be in the hunt to make a college football playoff. I talked to Joe Lisi quite a bit during the week, and you know what Joe Lisi's been telling me? Notre Dame just might be the best football team in the country right now, and I believe him. I do. Rolling over teams. The offense is out there right now, and I don't think anybody can stop them.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
Is it going to be Gabriel over the next 4 or 5 weeks? Or is it going to be...
I know.
Is it going to, but that's where they're at right now. Because that mentality, changes. We go from rebuild at 1-3 to all of a sudden at 2-3, the bell goes off, and he, in his head, probably drinking a beer at night, goes, hey, I can get this team to the playoffs.
You listen,
but that's the way these coaches think.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
So let's just start right there. Malik Neighbors, Tyreek Hill, done for 2025. Think of the managers that invested the draft capital. Man, oh man, what to do?
Yeah, this is really tough. I had people message me, man, I had Neighbors and Hill, and I lost them both in the same week. That's tough. It's a tough day at the office for sure, and that's why you watch us here on FST, Fantasy Sports Today. We're trying to help you.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
At this event, people from Amazon and Alexa made it very clear that in addition to Sports Highlight coming up, you will be able to perhaps buy sports tickets to events, buy movie tickets, arrange fantasy football teams, and I think somewhere down the road, maybe not too far down the road, given the NBA on Prime deal, they will allow sports betting on the television set through Alexa Plus.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
And welcome in. It is In-Game Live, game day on a marvelous Monday evening. Scott Wetzel, Gabriel Morency for the next 3.5 hours or so. We'll take you to the end of the Monday Night Football game. That's not only what's on our plate. Big night in the world of sports with the start of the college basketball season, plus the Monday Night Football, full slate of NBA games. We got a couple of hockey games we could put some shekels on as well. So should be a lot of fun over the next 3.5 hours. And like I said, hopefully making a couple of dollars along the way. My partner in crime, before we get to it all, Mr. Morency. What's Gabe time? What's Gabe? What's betting you off tonight? I wouldn't think too much, Gabe, after this past weekend with the LA Dodgers, but I'm sure you had something to talk about, right?
Well, it's an absolutely epic weekend of sports, and it continues. The sports equinoxes continue once again today, and there's even an MLS playoff game a little bit later on in Seattle in the late night hours tonight. So, somewhat of a letdown after arguably the greatest World Series ever. But the sports calendar is as busy as it's ever been. College basketball is back with a flurry. The defending national champions are in action. We have our first $5 million player debuting tonight for the BYU Cougars. So there's a lot to keep our eye on, Scott. And yes, I am still sort of like freaked out and like, wow, what a World Series and what a Game 7 victory. But one thing that is betting me off, the New England Patriots are suddenly in the Buffalo Bills' way again. It's like, forget about beating Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. Can you beat Drake May and the New England Patriots? But that's another story.
Yeah, opening pickoff time. We got a bunch of things starting here. This is a dangerous time of the year. Knowledge can be a dangerous thing. If you follow and know college basketball, boy, you talk about going from start to finish for your day. That is true. Opening pickoff, though, tonight, Gabe. I'll start with the NFL game. Hard to believe this won't hit 54 points. That is a lot of points in an NFL game, but I like the over 53.5. Dallas on a 5-0 overrun heading into this game. 15-6 over their last 21 games at home, where this one is. So give me the over 53.5. I like the fact. In fact, I love the fact that Jacoby Brissett is starting a quarterback for Arizona, not Kyler Murray. Hopefully we get a 34-24 type of game. Give me over 53.5 Arizona at Dallas.
Well, one thing about the Dallas Cowboys is we know they can put points on the board. The good news for the Dallas Cowboys and their backers is they have the second highest scoring offense in the National Football League. The bad news is they give up the second most points in the National Football League. But I don't think Arizona will quite be able to do enough damage to beat the Dallas Cowboys. Now, this is a classic Cowboy game that they don't win. A team that they're supposed to beat, primetime, Monday Night Football. Expectations are high for them tonight. And, they can get back to 500 here this evening as well. So a big football game for the Dallas Cowboys. Give me the Cowboys to cover the 3-point spread.
All right. This one might be my best bet overall. Give me the over 248.5 passing yards, Jacoby Brissett. He's had 2 starts this year. He's thrown for 279 yards and 320. Opposing quarterbacks against the Cowboys this year, 20 touchdown passes, only 4 interceptions with a completion percentage rate of nearly 69%. I mean, teams have been throwing the ball all over the place against Dallas. Cardinals don't have a great running game. I expect Dallas to score some points. I don't see a 10-7 game. So barring an injury like we have with all these bets, I don't know how Jacoby Brissett doesn't get to 250 yards passing. So give me the over 248.5. And you could adjust that one up if you want to. I'd go as high as 300.
The numbers actually come down with that because I like that prop as well.
You're right.
It's down as I saw 240.5 a couple of minutes ago, actually, believe it or not. I don't know why.
I saw 239.5, Gabe. In fact, another website, the offshore site that I looked at actually did have 239.5 even. So I'll stick with my 248. That's what I put it in. But it's like, you're right. It's gone down. Go ahead. That's a little strange to me. But
so you're even getting a better number if you haven't put the bet in yet, because I do like that bet. But I like the over the game, but I'm going to tease the Dallas Cowboys to the over. So if the Cowboys lose, they'll lose a heartbreaker. So I'm getting plus 4 points with the Cowboys, and I got to get over 47.5, 46.5 at the 53.5. So I 7-point tease Dallas Cowboys to the over, 7-point teaser Cowboys and the over.
Yeah. For the record, Jacoby Brissett right now on FanDuel is 238.5. You know what? I think that's
it's plummeting.
I like it even more. Yeah, for some reason. A third one on I have an hypothesis on why that might be, but college basketball. I picked certain teams, about between 6 to 10 teams, Gabe, and I either bet their overs or their unders, depending on the team that it is, all the time. And at the end of the year, you end up 5, 6, maybe 7 games over 500, which doesn't sound great. But if you have, 5 or 6 of those, all of a sudden you're 30 games over 500. One of them is Houston. Give me under 137.5. Houston against the Lehigh Engineers.
All right. So speaking of Jacoby Brissett, as we stated, the number has plummeted. There's going to be points scored in this football game. As we stated, Dallas scored 30 points a game, and they give up like 31 points a game. All right. So there's going to be opportunities for Jacoby Brissett to throw the football, and that's how you move the ball in the Dallas Cowboys. Only the Cincinnati Bengals, and surprisingly enough, the Pittsburgh Steelers of all teams, are giving up more passing yards a game. Dallas surrendered 258.6 yards in the air per game. The Bengals 260.1, and the Pittsburgh Steelers coughing up 278 yards a game through the air. Which that's a lot of yards, but I'll play Brissett over passing yards tonight as well.
All right. Last one is my conspiracy play of the day. Give me, believe it or not, give me the L.A. Lakers. We put it in at 8.5. It's 9.5 right now. Give me the Lakers plus 9.5 at Portland. Who's playing for L.A.? Luka? No. LeBron? No. They don't list anybody. Rui Hachimura is your best player playing for the Lakers, but I've seen this play out 1,000 times. I always complain about it, so if I'm going to complain about it, I might as well bet it. Teams that rest their star players get to win the games in the NBA. Give me the Lakers plus 9.5, and I think they can win outright at Portland. How about that?
This is where you got to pay attention to players after the game, because after last night's game, Lucas said, I need a rest, right? Because they're running up and down the court so much, and the Blazers were actually 3-point favorites this morning. So now we've got a -9 on the board. I'm going to go with Javonte Williams here. Let's talk Javonte Williams. I'll give you the first touchdown score of the game tonight. Let's swing with Javonte at plus 450. Not great odds for a first touchdown score, but the dude's a touchdown machine. He scored in 6 of their 8 games. He's got 8 touchdowns on the season. It's almost Kareem Hunt-like in the sense that if they get inside the 5-yard line, he's scoring type of deal. Like they give him the ball he just finds the end zone. He's not rushing for 200 yards a week or anything like that, but he's got 8 touchdowns on the season. He's going to score a touchdown tonight. It's minus 170, so it's a little pricey, but he will score a touchdown. But I think he scores the first touchdown. And speaking of college basketball games, unlike pro games, actually kind of tip off right when they say they're supposed to.
Yeah.
But I got to play in, Scott, on the over. My first college basketball play of the season. Campbell, the Campbell's Camels and the Wisconsin Badgers. Over 150 and a half. Yeah, I like the over.
Nice.
Listen, Scott, Wisconsin ain't our old school Wisconsin Badger team that scores 50 points a game anymore, right? They push the pace,
Right.
They shoot threes. And the Campbell coach, you guys got to pay attention to this stuff. The Campbell coach was the top Florida Gator assistant last year. Their offensive coordinator, Scott. Campbell, he's bringing the same offense. Run and gun, let's go, push the tempo. No, I'm not saying he's got the players to do it, but the coach of Campbell is as a Florida Gator assistant that cashed in after winning the title last year. So he wants to push the tempo, Scott. So I like the over this game.
And you'd be surprised, Gabe, maybe you wouldn't, but people would be surprised. Like, I have a list of the top 6 teams of over teams last year. Lemoyne, Temple, South Dakota, Indiana State, North Florida, NC Central. It's like all these goofy Campbell teams. Yeah, there you go. It's all these goofy teams that they just run and gun.
Yeah, the other big-time teams are playing to win, guys. These guys are just running and gunning,
Yeah. Hour number 1 underway here in the Grid.
They got to go win and execute, and they can't be inconsistent. And that's the thing. It's like Ohio State, Indiana, Oregon, really consistent. And then who is that fourth question mark? And there's been inconsistencies throughout. Hey, Michigan goes out to the West Coast and gets manhandled, and then they come back and then they win. Like, who's the consistent one that is the fourth?
The Bobby Carpenter Show, only on SportsGrid.
Listen, never understood a word he said, but it doesn't matter because he was able to walk into living rooms and get kids to sign. It's a little different situation with the NIL now, but the reality is he represents Louisiana. He is Mr. Louisiana. You should have never fired him to begin with in this spot. So, yeah, I hope they do reconsider and bring him back.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
There's a far longer track record of the Chiefs laying huge numbers and not covering them with Mahomes than anything on the contrary.
And they did that a lot last year where they didn't cover those numbers, but a lot of the time last year they didn't have Rice and they weren't fully healthy, and now they are fully healthy. And now we have an offense that has 4 viable receivers, 2 tight ends, and 2 running backs.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
24 points, and 23 rebounds. Folks, let me tell you something. That's 23 rebounds versus Tennessee. Not Tennessee Tech, not Tennessee Chattanooga, not East Tennessee, West Tennessee, South Tennessee. I don't know how many Tennessees they got in that state. That's a university. He did it against Rick Barnes' kids.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the Grid. They're going to kick off here in a couple of moments. Always throw out a few more, have some fun prop plays with the football game. A couple of these I think I have a halfway decent chance of hitting, Gabe. I'll start with the correct score, 27-21. I always take the favorites, so give me Dallas to win 27-21. I don't know about that one, but both teams to score 2 touchdowns, get 27-1, 2 passing touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns. And then both teams to get a touchdown and a field goal each half. that one pays 16 to 1. So we play those basically every week. And with these two teams, you got a halfway decent chance maybe hitting one of those tonight.
I went 34-24 Dallas final score, 150 to 1. So 34-24 Dallas Cowboys pays 150 to 1. And so we talked about the Javonte Williams prop. Both teams, Scott and everybody, both teams struggle against the tight end. So I think Trey McBride has a good game if you're into receiving yards, because it's like 6.5 receptions. Right, so the odds makers are aware of this. They're not dumb. They've seen everyone's seen the data. And same thing with Ferguson. Look for Ferguson. I thought Ferguson's yard prop was a little light, considering Doc really likes going to him. It's 4.5. Like Ferguson is 4.5. And normally I like the reception, Scott, but I'd almost rather the yards here with him in this instance. So what is his yards right now? It's not that high. 39.5. I think he can get there. I think he will get there. So let's go a little play on Ferguson over 39.5.
Yeah, it's amazing how great minds think alike, Gabe. In that I looked it up and saw a little note. To be honest, I didn't really look it up, but Trey McBride for Arizona has just as many touchdown receptions in 2 games with Jacoby Brissett as quarterback as he had in 22 games with Kyler Murray as quarterback, 3 apiece. So that is a clear with Brissett, as I mentioned earlier, with Brissett playing today. I think some of these props, this is going to be a good night for props. I think both teams really, barring something goofy, I think both teams are going to be throwing the ball. You mentioned the tight ends, as McBride is. So I would play his touchdown props, and I don't play touchdown props, but I think he's going to get one tonight.
They're the odds makers once again. It's the problem with McBride, and I was disappointed to see the odds. He's plus 110 to score a touchdown.
Oh,
that's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
That's
like you're not Barry Sanders. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like star players. I get it. You know what I mean? Like Javonte Williams is minus 170, Scott. Yeah, because he's the running back and he's got 8 touchdowns in 8 games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a little bit different. Like he's gonna get a chance. Trey McBride, it's like, yeah, he could score a touchdown, and Dallas aren't great against tight ends, but plus 110 just was not good enough for me to play it.
Yeah. That's why I don't play those things. For the most part, I don't play touchdowns. It's just like I get so disgusted when I look at the number. It's like, come on. I mean, man, it's not easy getting a touchdown. I don't care what position you play. It's not easy to make it basic.
And even the best players, like when you get these, like, Derrick Henry sometimes minus 200 and even Javonte minus 170 and stuff. It's like, all right, even a good season, Scott. All right, let's say you score 14 touchdowns or something in 17 games. That's less than 1 a game. But you're laying minus money to score a touchdown. Like touchdown props are kind of sucker bets, unless a lot of people like to only take, you know what I mean, the Eric Arroyos we talk about. Oh yeah, let's go with the backup tight end at 18 to 1 type thing, right? And they hit every now and then, but I have found it. I've done it a much less, Scott. In the past couple of years, I used to play DFS and stuff, right? So I was into it. You know what I mean? I was always into like more of the props before other people were years ago and everything. So I used to like have a full complement, man, on Sundays. Like, all right, I got like 16 touchdown scores. I'm playing every game, 2 guys. I've learned it's just too random, man. And you look, like quarterbacks get hurt. It affects other players. Like how many touchdowns Justin Jefferson had this year? Right? How many touchdowns, Jamar Chase? Like there's a lot of big stars where it's like they don't, and I get it, there's injuries, but it happens. Like Marvin Harrison Jr., good example. He doesn't score touchdowns now. He's not scoring.
Yeah.
Like whether it's Murray, whether it's, like you said, all right, now McBride's getting touchdowns. Well, now Harrison isn't, Scott. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's easier to throw to the tight end. So Brissett's throwing to the tight end. Now Harrison's all pissed off on his own, now not getting any balls. So, like, I'm just saying, like, you see Marvin Harrison Sr. rip the Cardinals now. Like, I thought they were going in the right direction, this team, Scott. I really did. But, like, never got on track this year, huh? Like, it just, I don't know. I thought, like I said, they ended strong. Like, yeah. And I like the coach. I know you're not a big Murray fan. Brissett's not the answer. Look, they're scoring the same amount of points. He throws for more yards, whatever. I think it's going to be the end for Murray there, Scott. He's got 1 year left on the deal. So we're going to be at that point where they're going to be like, do we re-sign him? And Gannon didn't draft him. So I would imagine, next year could be his last year. If not, like off season, they trade him. Schefter was talking about it tonight that there's a little bit of a thing that, this could be it for Kyler Murray there, that he's going to end up somewhere else next year. And he will get picked up. The question, where it's going to be, the quarterback shuffle will continue.
Yeah, you're going to have some decent name quarterbacks on the move. You're going to have. I think Tua is there for the taking. I know he's got similar situation with Kyler Murray. 1 year, monster year. But listen, if you want to get rid of a guy and you're going to draft a guy, then it doesn't matter whether he's on your team or not. You still got to account for $40 million salary cap, whether he's on it or not. So there's no reason not to move away from him. If the Cardinals want to get rid of Murray, Dolphins want to get rid of Tua, those two guys could be on the move. Maybe Mac Jones is making a name for himself. I don't think the 49ers would get rid of Brock Purdy, but maybe he's out there, though. Like people are saying,
he'll be a cheap option. Exactly. That sort of,
right.
The C option sort of, hey, listen, we don't have to pay him $40 million type thing, because Kyler gets paid, right? Kyler's not in a stage of his career where it's like, oh yeah, I'm taking a disc. No, you're gonna have to pay him his contract at 40. He makes $38 million a year now. What you ain't gonna break the bank at $60 million, but you're gonna have to extend him. So that's the whole point. You're gonna have to extend him. The Raiders, there's Geno Smith, right? There's a lot of teams with bad quarterback play, Scott. Right, the carousel continued, but Tua can't play in the cold, so it just eliminates. I think Tua will be the one that teams are going to be like, we're not paying this guy. He's always hurt. He can't play in the cold. Every game he has an excuse. You see the other night, Scott, he said that Raven fans on the road were too loud. He couldn't hear.
Too loud on the road. Wow.
They got to go win and execute, and they can't be inconsistent. And that's the thing. It's like Ohio State, Indiana, Oregon, really consistent. And then who is that fourth question mark? And there's been inconsistencies throughout. Hey, Michigan goes out to the West Coast and gets manhandled, and then they come back and then they win. Who's the consistent one that is the fourth?
The Bobby Carpenter Show, only on SportsGrid.
Listen, never understood a word he said, but it doesn't matter because he was able to walk into living rooms and get kids to sign. It's a little different situation with the NIL now, but the reality is he represents Louisiana. He is Mr. Louisiana. You should have never fired him to begin with in this spot. So, I hope they do reconsider and bring him back.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
There's a far longer track record of the Chiefs laying huge numbers and not covering them with Mahomes than anything on the contrary.
And they did that a lot last year where they didn't cover those numbers, but a lot of the time last year they didn't have Rice and they weren't fully healthy, and now they are fully healthy. And now we have an offense that has 4 viable receivers, 2 tight ends, and 2 running backs.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
24 points, and 23 rebounds. Folks, let me tell you something. That's 23 rebounds versus Tennessee. Not Tennessee Tech, not Tennessee Chattanooga, not East Tennessee, West Tennessee, South Tennessee. I don't know how many Tennessees they got in that state. That's the university. He did it against Rick Barnes' kids.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe, hour number one. We got the football. Head back to that here in a second. Just to kind of scan through the college basketball scores. You got a couple of close ones. You had monster crazy, like the first 2, 3, 4 weeks of the season. You get ridiculous lines, right? If you want to lay, the points. Most of these games are in the mid-20s to upper 30s. There was one game, my daughter goes to the University of New Haven. They were a 41.5-point dog against Connecticut tonight. They're actually hanging tough. Gave the boys out in the podcast that one. They're only down like 17 or so. Good start for Wisconsin Campbell. You're over, Gabe, 22-17 midway through the first half. So that's on pace for 160-plus points. There was one close game that Michigan State leading only by a second half, 53-47. I forget what the Spartans were, but I'm sure that was a solid 15 to 25-point favorite there. So every once in a while,
Some
you get a
big
goofy
numbers.
upset. No,
Yeah, you know
numbers,
what? And the odds makers don't really know much about these teams, right? They're sort of pricing them by reputation. And I'm not a fan of those massive numbers. Like, I'm a Michigan Wolverine fan, and what are we laying to Oakland? The game's tipping off right now. Oakland, Michigan, that is, of course. But, it's the same type of number. It's 24 and a half here. There's so many games.
Yeah.
In the 24.5 range, all right, do they want to cover, right? It's just it's the first game of the year. These teams have played exhibition games. Yeah, 23.5. They're ready to tip off right now, Oakland and Michigan. See, I kind of stay away from them. I sort of look for totals earlier. And then you either get these, I'll tell you right now, Scott, I guarantee you, Ohio State are only up right now by 14 on IU Indianapolis. Yeah, they were favored by a lot more than that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got some close games going on right now. So I'm about roll the dice with the points and hang on for dear life. It's only a 40-minute game and you're getting 40 points or whatever.
Yeah.
Or you get these super high-profile games, Scott, where these, the big-time teams are playing each other in their first games of the year. And a good example is Arizona. Yeah. The defending champion, Florida Gators. I always like to bet against these champion teams, right? They're going to be a little bit overpriced. Now, they were only 3.5-point favorites, so we can't argue that they were overpriced per se. But, Arizona were replacing a couple of guys, but they're stacked, and they had a couple of new dudes coming in. And I thought Arizona was a live dog, and they are up by 7 right now with 15 minutes left. And it leads me into, we'll get into the game later, but you got Villanova and BYU are really trendy, Scott. Right?
Yes,
They're stacked. They got a bunch of returning starters from last year.
Yeah.
They brought in the kid, the Bysanta kid, first ever $5 million a year college basketball player. They paid him $5 million for 1 year. So it's his debut tonight. Yet they are playing Villanova, who Villanova are not Campbell. Villanova are not Hofstra. So it's all right, this big hype train. They're laying 8.5 points, Scott. And I'll tell you what, Villanova have a massive big-time recruit coming in as well. I'm taking the points with the Wildcats a little bit later on. I like in these big showdowns taking the underdog between two good teams. Is BYU better than 9 points, better than Villanova in the first game of the year? I'm not ready to say that.
Yeah. And that was 7.5, and I saw it earlier at 9.5 even. So maybe it dropped a little bit to 8.5. But FanDuel's got it even 9.5. So is that how you pronounce that kid's name? Bysanta?
Yeah, Bysanta. Yeah.
Bysanta? Okay.
AJ Bysanta. They're playing against UConn too at Boston, the Boston Garden next week. There's some they're getting the high profile stuff. This game's in Vegas tonight, guys. That's another thing too.
Right.
In Vegas, not a home
so
game
that's
for
not
BYU.
A home game.
Yeah, I'm sure. Some people are probably falling for that. You know what I'm saying? Look at BYU at home. No, it's not
BYU
at home. It's in Las Vegas.
Yeah. Oh, then I like Villanova that much more even.
Neutral court. Now listen, Scott, I lived in Vegas. Vegas are all Mormons. I'll be honest with you. It's going to feel like a home game for BYU. But it's going to it is, but it's not BYU. They're playing in Vegas on a neutral court, right? It's neutral court, just like the Florida-Arizona games in Vegas right now. Those are the two games there tonight.
Yeah, I knew that one was. I didn't know the other one was. So, okay. Yeah. Dallas had it first in goal. They can't score. They go for it on fourth from their own from the 4-yard line.
Why? Just kick the field goal.
I know. I don't get it. Opening possession, make your mark. There's 3 points. Boom, we march right down the field. Okay, you stopped us, but still, risk. It's not the 1 yard line. It's the 4 yard line. I don't get it. So, Arizona now with the ball at their own 46. They're on the move. All right, in-game live, game day, halfway through hour number 1. More coming up.
They got to go win and execute, and they can't be inconsistent. And that's the thing. It's like Ohio State, Indiana, Oregon, really consistent. And then who is that fourth question mark? And there's been inconsistencies throughout. Hey, Michigan goes out to the West Coast and gets manhandled, and then they come back and then they win. Like, who's the consistent one that is the fourth?
The Bobby Carpenter Show, only on SportsGrid.
Listen, never understood a word he said, but it doesn't matter because he was able to walk into living rooms and get kids to sign. It's a little different situation with the NIL now, but the reality is he represents Louisiana. He is Mr. Louisiana. What better? You should have never fired him to begin with in this spot. So, yeah, I hope they do reconsider and bring him back.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
There's a far longer track record of the Chiefs laying huge numbers and not covering them with Mahomes than anything on the contrary.
And they did that a lot last year where they didn't cover those numbers, but a lot of the time last year they didn't have Rice and they weren't fully healthy, and now they are fully healthy. And now we have an offense that has 4 viable receivers, 2 tight ends, and 2 running backs.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
24 points, and 23 rebounds. Folks, let me tell you something. That's 23 rebounds versus Tennessee. Not Tennessee Tech, not Tennessee Chattanooga, not East Tennessee, West Tennessee, South Tennessee. I don't know how many Tennessees they got in that state. That's a university. He did it against Rick Barnes' kids.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the grid. Scott gave our number 1. So first possession for the Arizona Cardinals, much like the first possession for the Dallas Cowgirls, as we like to call them, inside Dallas territory. Dallas went into Arizona's territory, so they got it
the total, though.
With the Dallas 43. Total's going down.
You bet the over this game. That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, it's such a high number. I didn't bet it. I took it in the teaser only with the Cowboys. That's just a killer, right? The Cowboys took 5 minutes off the clock, marched down the field, just take the damn 3. They don't get the 3. Now you have Arizona. It's just this drive's taking forever, Scott. Like, they're picking up like 8 yards at a time, 6 yards, but they're moving the ball, but they're always in like these sort of lights. So now we got a 3rd and long coming up here, 3rd and 5, etc. They've eaten up another 5 minutes of the clock, essentially. Like, we're moving in at the 6-minute mark, so we played 9 minutes, 0 points. And they're still stuck on like the Cowboy 42-yard line right now. It's total.
And that's what I was going to say. That's what I was going to say, Gabe, about Brissett's numbers going down. I said the only reason his numbers would go down is because people are saying, well, Dallas is going to have the ball a lot. They're going to be scoring a lot. So they're going to be taking time off the clock. Now, I can't anticipate people saying, oh, they're going to, go for it on 4th down.
But it's almost like Arizona want to do it. Arizona are nickel and diming Dallas now. I think Arizona are thinking, let's just keep Dallas on the sidelines. Like, everything's little nickel and dime stuff. Let's see. They pick it up. It's funny. It's nickel and dime. It's 3rd and 6. They got 7. They picked up the first down, so now they're going to chew up another couple of minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with the Brissett pass. He's got 43 yards already, and they're throwing the ball.
They've
thrown it 8 times, and they run it 3. Yeah, so
they keep on doing the underneath stuff. So it's going to add up. No, he's going to get there. Like, I think the Cowboys are concerned about getting burnt deep with Harrison. So everything's just open underneath over and over here. And I think this is why it's taken Harrison out of the equation, right, over the last couple of weeks suddenly.
Right. They are a different team, I'll tell you, with Jacoby Brissett. He's a decent backup, right? He was a third-round pick a few years back. He's had his chances. He's not a real starter. But,
well, as you said that, he just fumbled the snap. He is a decent backup. He
sucks.
I know, but look. Yeah. So you look at Arizona, the last couple of games, what did they score? So here, I have it right here. They scored 23 points against the Packers. They scored 27 points against the Colts, both with Jacoby Brissett starting. All right, the week before, they scored 21 points against the Titans, and they scored 20 points the week before that against Seattle. So, yeah, they've averaged a couple of more points, you know what I mean? But it's not like the offense is completely different or anything like that. It's the same results. They lost 27-23. They lost 31-27. They lost 22-21. They lost 23-20. They have lost, if you'll notice. They've lost 4 games in a row. 5 games in a row, guys.
5.
I was going to say 4 by 4 or less, but even the 5th game they lost was by 1, Scott. If ends and buts were candies and nuts, right? But they do lose close every week, this team, somehow.
Yeah. 2 things, Gabe. 1, they're the only team in NFL history to lose 5 straight games by 4 points or less. I mean, how crazy is that? But
ever. You figured that would have happened before, too.
Ever. Right? Yeah, right? But to put it into perspective, and I always bring this up about the fans of teams that say, yeah, we were close, we're almost there, blah, blah, blah. Okay, who was the worst team last year in the NFL, right? Tennessee Titans, number 1 overall pick, right? You know how many times the Tennessee Titans, the worst team in the NFL, lost by more than 10 points last year out of 17 games? 4 times. 4 times. They were in every single game.
What's crazy is they never covered either.
Amazing.
They should have been bigger dogs.
Yeah. Well, that's why, because they were losing everything by 9,
no, you're
10
right.
points.
So
it would be like 6, 7 point favorites. So it's rare when a team gets blown out every single game. They're bad. It's just
exactly.
Bad teams find ways to
you
lose.
Can't say
was that.
There are some teams, and we got a field goal attempt here, and you know what? I didn't get the bet in the long field goal tonight. I got caught up in other stuff.
Ooh.
And Aubrey never misses the long
yards.
Ones. Yeah, I didn't even see. I didn't even look. I swear to God, they just said this went in. I thought it was wide. Unless I'm crazy. So 48-yard kick. Let me see the replay here. I looked up. I'm like, I don't know if that's in.
The SMU game. Did you see that kick in the SMU game?
Let's see.
That they said was no good.
This one went in barely, but
barely.
Man, we've had a lot of these close kicks this year. It's like, did that go in or not? Like, there's a lot of that this year. But no, you're right, Scott. It's a good point. Like, no one's going to sit here and say, "Oh, the poor Arizona Cardinals," right? They're much better than their record is. No, like you said, you've lost by 4, coincidentally, a bunch of times and 3 and stuff, but you're not really close to winning these games. A couple of them you were, but you were coming back. It's kind of deceptive. They're not a very good football team. And let's be real, too. People like it's the quarterback that's going to get the love and the blame and stuff, but they're not a very talented team, Scott, the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah.
Like, who do they have?
They got a couple players. You'd want on your team.
They haven't had a running back in years. James Conner, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Nice story, but he's not like a star back. So they haven't had a running back in years. Marvin Harrison's not a star. He's, we thought he'd be better than he was. He's okay. Trey McBride's better than average. Their defense has nothing. Like, their best player is a rookie, Will Johnson, out of Michigan. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they haven't drafted well. Let's just call it out for what it is. They haven't drafted well over the years, and it catches up. Yeah. And the other thing is, too, they're never really drafting in the top 5 or 7, right? They're sort of that, always drafting, 13th and 12th, etc.
Right.
They never really get that impact pick,
Yeah, that's why they got to, make a decision on Murray. Maybe they, you get to a certain point in the season where you just say, hey, you know what, we don't want you to come back. We just, like, I was saying that.
Or you say, we want to rebuild. We want to rebuild. It's not even just about him. Say, we'd be better off just tanking. Because imagine Kyler Murray comes back, grinds out, you go 500 with him, you end up with 7 wins, and you're stuck. Like, you know what I mean? You're like, oh.
That's what I was going to say about the Dolphins.
And he's like, Kyler's not going to tank for you because he's trying to impress other teams. So he's not. He's going to be like, oh, I don't care. I'm going to try to win. I'm going to play well because I want to end up on a better team after.
Yeah. That's what I was saying about the Dolphins. Everyone's yelling and screaming, how come the head coach wasn't fired when you fired the GM? Well, because it's the same owner that was telling his previous head coach to lose on purpose to go draft Joey B. So if he fires the head coach now, what's going to happen? Interim's going to come in and maybe win 2, 3, 4, 5 games. He says, why change the head coach? If I really want to bottom out, I'll keep the head coach because he's going to make sure we lose every single week. So it's kind of the same scenario, right? Right? I mean, I tell it to all these Dolphin fans, what are you yelling and screaming about? McDaniel still being there. And the worst thing that can happen is he leaves. You want to lose now. And they're going to lose for him. They hate him. The players hate him now. You're bringing an interim guy that they love, and they'll win a few games. And then you'll be a 15th pick overall instead of a top 5. So
the only crazy thing is about that is I would say that it's pretty much a stone cold lock that Tua is done with the Dolphins. I would not say it's a stone cold lock with McDaniel. You and I have talked about it. I think Stephen Ross legitimately likes him and legitimately thinks that it's Tua's fault. He's a good coach. Greer didn't give him good players. It's not his fault. And I we'll see, right? I mean, if he hasn't pulled the trigger yet, and I like your angle about, well, whatever, I'll fire him at the end of the year and we're better off losing games because Ross has shown that, you know what, he did want to tank and the coach didn't do it for him. And again, a lawsuit started and everything, basically. Like the owner can't go on record. Like it's like kind of not criminal, but in the end, it's breaking the rules, right? Like the owner can't tell the coach, listen, I want you to lose. And you got to lose because we suck and I want to get a top pick. But Ross was very, very adamant and clear about we want to go in a different direction. Like we want to start over.
Yeah.
Like he
I don't mind what's happening. I don't mind what's going on right now. You
he told them we like a lot of the players that are on the board. Like he said, we like the draft board. Like we like the draft board. Wink, wink. Lose games. Stop winning so much. Yeah. Bench people. I don't care what you do. Right? And Flores ratted him out. Oh, I'm telling you to lose.
Yeah. 3-0 Arizona. More coming up.
They got to go win and execute, and they can't be inconsistent. And that's the thing. It's like Ohio State, Indiana, Oregon, really consistent. And then who is that fourth question mark? And there's been inconsistencies throughout. Hey, Michigan goes out to the West Coast and gets manhandled, and then they come back and then they win. Like, who's the consistent one that is the fourth?
The Bobby Carpenter Show, only on SportsGrid.
Listen, never understood a word he said, but it doesn't matter because he was able to walk into living rooms and get kids to sign. It's a little different situation with the NIL now, but the reality is he represents Louisiana. He is Mr. Louisiana. What bet you should have never fired him to begin with in this spot. So, yeah, I hope they do reconsider and bring him back.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
There's a far longer track record of the Chiefs laying huge numbers and not covering them with Mahomes than anything on the contrary.
And they did that a lot last year where they didn't cover those numbers, but a lot of the time last year they didn't have Rice and they weren't fully healthy, and now they are fully healthy. And now we have an offense that has 4 viable receivers, 2 tight ends, and 2 running backs.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
24 points, and 23 rebounds. Folks, let me tell you something. That's 23 rebounds versus Tennessee. Not Tennessee Tech, not Tennessee Chattanooga, not East Tennessee, West Tennessee, South Tennessee. I don't know how many Tennessees they got in that state. That's a university. He did it against Rick Barnes' kids.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the Grid. So 3-0 Arizona's going to get the ball back. Dallas darn near had an intercept right in the defensive back's hands, the deflected pass, and they would have had it right at the Dallas 20, 25-yard line or so. But that said, they're still going to get the ball back punting. Arizona now laying 2.5, over-unders down to 47.5. So we'll keep you posted on that. Got a couple of other college basketball games top of the hour, and that'll be tipping off. Gabe, what do you got for us tonight?
Yeah, that's right. Here's another under-the-radar basketball game. I'm scrolling. Man, there's a lot of games today, huh? like in each like time slot even. Like I'm looking at 9 o'clock Eastern. I'm like, oh my God, I gotta scroll more and more and more. But here we go. Give me the San Jose State Spartans tonight. The San Jose State Spartans getting 12.5 points against the Utah Utes. The Utah Utes only have 2 scholarship players. They are really a ragtag operation right now. Like, this is not a humming basketball program. They have 2 scholarship players. They've brought in 1 million different people, and they're just sort of like strung a team together. And you and I talk about this in college football, where you got to, if you follow the smaller schools and you realize, oh yeah, this team is actually that good team from last year now, right? That they all transferred. The new coach of San Jose State was the coach of Morehead State. The same Morehead State that won 24 last year, 25 the year before. He brought the team with him, Scott. San Jose State are basically Morehead State now with a couple of kids from San Jose State. All right, and they're getting 12.5. Like, this isn't like Utah. I think Utah are going to be in a dogfight to win the game outright. Like, I think this game's going to be one of those, it's going to be 63-63 with 2 minutes left type thing. I'm taking a 12.5 here.
That's not bad. I like that. Yeah. Little step up in class for the Morehead State kids, but, how much realistically, as long as they can deal with the travel.
Isn't like, and Utah, this isn't Rick Majerus's Ute team.
Yeah, clearly. Yeah, clearly, man. If they've fallen apart, and BYU is doing so well, then Utah seems like it's falling off the map there. That's a little bit of a surprise. They've always been a pretty good program, Utah. But
they don't have the Ryan Smith guy that owns everything.
Right.
He went to BYU, not Utah. So that's why they're at BYU. Like, and not just that, Scott, but overall the state of Utah, like Salt Lake City, like he is single-handedly putting them on the map. Right? Like, look, he brought the hockey team in. He built like a $300 million practice facility. The Vancouver Canucks have been arguing for 15 years about a practice facility. This guy built one in 2 months, Scott. He's like a big tech billionaire guy. Like, he's got money. He's proud of his hometown. He's like a proud BYU guy. And like the Olympics are going back there. He's part of like the Olympic committee, whatever. The guy's like a big mover and shaker in sports now. Great owner. Great owner. Like the Utah hockey team is first class. The Utah Jazz are struggling, obviously, but he's got a better chance of winning it with hockey, at least, right? Because hockey players won't mind living in Utah. Basketball players will never want to play there. Let's just call it off what it is.
Yeah. NBA would be tough. Yeah, that would be real tough. There's not that many Carmelones out there, to tell you the truth. No. And I'll throw one out at you.
Exactly.
I know nothing
the one
about
brother
these
that
teams.
really liked it there. Yeah, exactly. I'll call it off what it is.
There's not that many.
So they're not like in Salt Lake. It's just not happening. So unless you draft, like, you know what I mean? Unless you draft, like,
you gotta draft
a bunch of dudes
players,
that are really good and they happen to not want to leave and they like it, and you got a couple of, how are you going to get a free agent to sign there? How are you going to get it? Like, seriously. It's like, all right, you can sign with the Miami Heat or the Utah Jazz. Who do you want to sign with? We're offering the same amount of money. It's like, well, do I want to live in Salt Lake? No. Right.
Yeah. I mean, that's, I'm really you would have to double the pay, not even just overpay. You'd have to double the pay.
That's why I always say, Scott, salary caps don't work. Like, people think salary caps help bad teams. They don't. So let's say you're the Sacramento Kings or the Utah Jazz. You can only offer the same amount of money the Lakers can. You can only offer the same amount of money the Golden State Warriors can, or like the Houston Rockets, or whatever the high-profile teams that players like. So if you're Sacramento, you can't say to a Kevin Durant, listen, we want you to play here, but we can only offer you the same as the tax-free state of Texas that you wanted to play for the Houston Rockets. So like you said, the Sacramentos or the Utahs, they'd have a chance if it was a free market. They could just, like they blew the kid away, Scott, the Bicenta kid with a $5 million offer. Just blown him away. And just tell LeBron James or whoever, like Giannis is a free agent. Yeah, you know, Giannis, I know that you never thought about living in Salt Lake, but you ever thought about getting $1 billion before? We'll give you $1 billion contract. Bingo, suddenly Giannis is skiing with a smile on his face down the slopes in Salt Lake.
Suddenly Utah's not that bad.
But
you know?
You have a salary cap, Scott, you can't match. You can't top it. Like, you won't, so the smaller teams will never be able to beat the hot teams because you're not able to offer them more money. Like, at least in baseball, nothing's stopping the Marlins from spending money. They still want to do it. Point blank. They don't want to do it. Nothing's stopping them from doing it.
Yeah, Pirates, they pick a normal.
You can offer Ohtani a contract. You can offer any star contract. You might have to offer him more, but that's business. That's the way life works.
I'll throw one out at you. I'll throw two at you, actually. Gonzaga is one of my teams. Yeah, like I said earlier, I pick. It's been successful, really. I know it's boring betting. And I always do extra, but it's successful betting. It is. Gonzaga is one of my over teams. I bet their overs all the time. And it hits, 5, 6, 7, 8 games over 500 every single year, it seems like. So give me over 157.5 Gonzaga, Texas Southern. And the other one is just a hunch play, have some fun, starts at 9 o'clock. Towson, Maryland versus Loyola, Maryland. I'm getting a 9.5 with Loyola, Maryland. The two schools, you can walk the distance. It's kind of like North Carolina and Duke. So it's got to be a monster rivalry. You want to give me almost 10 points in a rivalry game? Give me Loyola, Maryland plus the 9.5. It's 2 games starting at the top of the hour. So
great to have college basketball back. So many different options. Yeah. So many different.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's if you know what you're doing, it's dangerous because you have 50, 60 games every single night you can bet on. I mean, it's just like crazy.
Hopefully we start the gambling 101 stuff, and with college basketball. There's too many teams, so don't try to be a hero and pretend you know every team in the country and every conference. You can't. It's impossible. Right. Like, go with what you know. Focus on a few conferences.
They got to go win and execute, and they can't be inconsistent. And that's the thing. It's like Ohio State, Indiana, Oregon, really consistent. And then who is that fourth question mark? And there's been inconsistencies throughout. Hey, Michigan goes out to the West Coast and gets manhandled, and then they come back and then they win. Like, who's the consistent one that is the fourth?
The Bobby Carpenter Show, only on SportsGrid.
Listen, never understood a word he said, but it doesn't matter because he was able to walk into living rooms and get kids to sign. It's a little different situation with the NIL now, but the reality is he represents Louisiana. He is Mr. Louisiana. You should have never fired him to begin with in this spot. So, yeah, I hope they do reconsider and bring him back.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
There's a far longer track record of the Chiefs laying huge numbers and not covering them with Mahomes than anything on the contrary.
And they did that a lot last year where they didn't cover those numbers, but a lot of the time last year they didn't have Rice and they weren't fully healthy, and now they are fully healthy. And now we have an offense that has 4 viable receivers, 2 tight ends, and 2 running backs.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
24 points, and 23 rebounds. Folks, let me tell you something. That's 23 rebounds versus Tennessee. Not Tennessee Tech, not Tennessee Chattanooga, not East Tennessee, West Tennessee, South Tennessee. I don't know how many Tennessees they got in that state. That's a university. He did it against Rick Barnes' kids.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
Hi, welcome back in-game live. Game day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe closing out hour number 1. So Arizona with a 3-0 lead,
They're about to
and
score.
they got a first and goal. Yeah, first and goal game at the Dallas 4-yard line.
What did I say, Scott, before the game? Laying down. You know what? I bet Dallas today. I was like, oh, Dallas. And I swear, I didn't really put any thought into it, Scott. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, I'm not going to say I didn't handicap the game or not, but it was sort of like, yeah, whatever. I'll take Dallas in the over on Monday. And sort of as the game was approaching, I started to think, I'm like, this is exactly the type of game that Dallas lets everybody down. Like, you know what I mean? It's the exact type of game that everybody, I said it, yeah. I said it's the exact type of game that let people down.
It's not surprised when you said touchdown. Dallas.
I know, like where the Marvin Harrison touchdown. So Harrison gets his TD, 4-yard touchdown pass. So think about it, Scott. You even said, it's going to be a great night for the props and this and that. The Cowboys have 0 points. Yeah. They got 0 points. They're being shut out.
Yeah.
And you stupid jerks. You should have kicked the field goal. You haven't scored since, and you got up 10 points since. It's ridiculous. You should have been, 3-0. Could have been a different outcome of the game right now, Scott. Like, it would have changed the whole parallel of the universe. But no, you got to go for it. You get Arizona all fired up, too. Hey, we can win this game, guys. Hey, Dallas aren't got good tonight, eh? And, suddenly, the sideline gets more fired up, and suddenly they're not all so miserable in Arizona now. They're all smiling now.
Yeah. And, this is where coaching kind of comes in. I don't think enough of it gets talked about with coaching, right? So their best receiver, well, they got 2. McBride is really good. I'll grant you that. But he's got single coverage, Gabe, on Marvin Harrison Jr., who's already been throwing the ball 5 times tonight for 64 yards. And
clearly, they said we're getting him the ball tonight.
Yeah.
They said we're getting Harrison the ball.
Single coverage. You're not going to be able to guard him. It's impossible to guard him. Anybody that's out on an island like that, all you do is just go 2 yards up and you cut in the middle. The defensive back is now automatically on the outside. And then you're throwing the ball. I mean, that's bad coaching. That's not necessarily bad play. It's just, why would you have a guy on an island like that against their best receiver who they're throwing the ball to? Doesn't make any sense to me. So.
Well, now let's look at Dak Prescott props, right? Now, Dak's got to throw the football.
Yeah, yeah.
His number was already, what is it?
Dallas.
It's 270.5, I see. I got a 270. He's only got 36 passing yards so far.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Only 36. Jacoby's up to 82. Jacoby in-game is 242.5 at Bet365 right now.
Yeah. Boy, they don't think that he's throwing the ball. I don't get it. You're right. FanDuel's got it at 240.5. He's got 82.
He's already got 82, bro. He's way on pace for this, Scott. Another drive, he's going to throw for another 50 years. We're probably going to be at about 150 or 160 with Jacoby at the half.
Yeah. And you got a head coach who's clearly trying to make a point that Brissett is better than Kyler Murray, who, by the way, didn't even
I think
today.
It's more.
He's inactive. So
I think it's more the point that the Dallas secondary sucks.
Well,
Scott, I brought it up before the game. Yeah. Only 2 teams give up more passing yards in the NFL than this team. It's pitch and catch.
Yeah.
It literally is pitch and catch for Jacoby Brissett right now. He's dropping back. He's not throwing it deep. Dallas, I said, Dallas are so, they've been burnt, so they're so worried about getting burnt deep. Everybody is open 5 yards. Jacoby's just dropping back, throwing it 5-6 yards. They're picking up a couple of yards after the catch, and they're moving the sticks like this.
Yeah. And sooner
they're
or
getting
later,
nickel and dime to get Dallas.
Yeah, sooner or later, the defensive coordinator's got to be like, well, you know what, this is not working. On paper, it sounds good, but, we're trailing 17-0, so defensive backs.
They give up 30 points a game, Scott. There's nothing they can do about it. Maybe they shouldn't have traded Micah Parsons.
Yeah. Boy, what would an over-under be? Does Cincinnati play Dallas this year? I don't think so, right? But what would an over-under be with those two goofy teams?
56.5?
Oh, at least, right? No, they don't. The Giants, Chargers, Vikings, Chiefs. No, that's too bad.
Even Chase Brown yesterday on the Bengals? He ripped the defense. He finally snapped.
Yeah.
They got to finish the effing game, man. So he said, they got to finish the effing game. Oh, here it is. Zach Taylor reprimands Chase Brown, so he got in trouble. Zach Taylor reprimands Chase Brown for post-game comments about Bengals defense. Sunday's 47-2 loss to the Bears was a gut punch for the season, giving up the winning touchdown in final seconds. After the game, running back Chase Brown, we put the ball in the end zone and gave up a point at the end. Finish the effing game. That's it. End it. That's it. That's what we need to do. Just end the effing game. Zach Taylor not happy with his comments.
Yeah. Listen, Zach, you know what? You should be saying those things then. You know, I mean, that's what that tells you. That tells
You're
you
right.
not only is the player really upset, he's talking. He knows what he's doing. He's been in the league
Gave
a
up
while.
47 points or whatever. Like,
I got some crazy numbers for you when we come back with Sean Higgs, winnersandwhiners.com.
They got to go win and execute, and they can't be inconsistent. And that's the thing. It's like Ohio State, Indiana, Oregon, really consistent. And then who is that fourth question mark? And there's been inconsistencies throughout. Hey, Michigan goes out to the West Coast and gets manhandled, and then they come back and then they win. Like, who's the consistent one that is the fourth?
The Bobby Carpenter Show, only on SportsGrid.
Listen, never understood a word he said, but it doesn't matter because he was able to walk into living rooms and get kids to sign. It's a little different situation with the NIL now, but the reality is he represents Louisiana. He is Mr. Louisiana. You should have never fired him to begin with in this spot. So, yeah, I hope they do reconsider and bring him back.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
There's a far longer track record of the Chiefs laying huge numbers and not covering them with Mahomes than anything on the contrary.
And they did that a lot last year where they didn't cover those numbers, but a lot of the time last year they didn't have Rice and they weren't fully healthy, and now they are fully healthy. And now we have an offense that has 4 viable receivers, 2 tight ends, and 2 running backs.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
24 points, and 23 rebounds. Folks, let me tell you something. That's 23 rebounds versus Tennessee. Not Tennessee Tech, not Tennessee Chattanooga, not East Tennessee, West Tennessee, South Tennessee. I don't know how many Tennessees they got in that state. That's a university. He did it against Rick Barnes' kids.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back. In-game live, game day here on the grid. Hour number 2 of our 3.5 hour extravaganza this Monday night. Little Monday Night Football. You know what we always do. Talk with our good buddy Sean Higgs. Winnersandwhiners.com, hour number 2. And that's where we're at right now. What's going on, Sean? How are you tonight?
Not much. I like the Expo garb there. Have you seen the Who Killed the Expos on Netflix? I heard it's supposed to be pretty good.
Nah, I didn't watch it. I eventually will. Dude, I was there the final night. I was the post-game show host in the final years. So,
I was there,
like I said,
it.
Scott, like who killed, like, you know, say someone asked me the night it came out, how did you not watch it? I said, I was at the funeral. I saw I saw the body. I said, I was at the funeral. I said, I don't need to dig the body up now. That's what we're doing. It's been 20 years, 25 years. Who killed the Expos? Everybody did, whatever. It is what it is, but it's kind of ironic. I think they sell more gear now, Higgs, they did when they were in existence. Like, you see them in videos, like in rap videos, Expo gear. It's like, you know, you guys bought more gear when we were around. But nevertheless, thanks. Yeah, it is a nice hoodie. Thanks, Higgs.
It is. You gotta love. I love the logo is fabulous. It's right that in the Brewer. I like the Brewer logo too. It's just a nice.
It's just classic, huh?
Yeah.
It's clean.
Just basic
it's just
classic,
not,
red, white, blue.
Expos baseball. Like, you know what I mean? Everyone was wondering what is the E and the B, you know what I mean? It's sort of, it's just a classic look.
Excellent.
What do you think about, I'll just get your reaction. What do you think about the Dodgers, Sean? Before we always talk Dodgers and World Series of baseball with you before we get to the football game. Your thoughts Saturday night?
Overrated back-to-back champions ever. This team can't even hit their win total in the regular season. They're the best thing since puffed rice. These guys.
Yeah.
They dodged.
That's your biggest complaint.
I asked people, Scott, on Twitter, and I had a lot of Blue Jay fans, obviously, online on Saturday, and it got a little ugly, actually, with some of them. But I asked people, did the Dodgers win or the Blue Jays choke?
I mean,
that's a good question. You can make the case for
I
both.
gotta think the Blue Jays choke, guys. Like, guys, they had the bases effing loaded with nobody out, man. Like, how many more, Hicks? Like, how many opportunities did they have? Dude, first and third, one out. Bases loaded, one out. Nobody out in the ninth, the 11th. Like, trust me, they were, as a Dodger fan, we were like a sacrifice of fly away from losing 5 times. And they just couldn't get the ball out of the outfield or the infield, or they'd hit it right to somebody, or you know what I mean?
But then you get to Game 7. Forget about the previous game. You're in this, and this is what I thought the Dodgers would win in 6, because the bullpen for Toronto would come back and kind of bite them in the butt. And it did. He gave up the runs there in the 8th and 9th, and that's how you lose in 7. That's a tough way to go down. You're right there. And okay, it was a great game, 7-game series and all that. But let's be honest, a lot of those games were 6-1, 7-1. They weren't even close, half of them.
Oh, yeah, they 18-inning game.
Yeah, get the 18-inninger. It was. I've seen a lot of World Series. I still say the 75 World Series is better. But I do think, also, I'll say this, guys. Someone's going to come up with an angle. But I think the call was right. But was the runner kind of for left out at home plate? I don't think he was. I think what happened, as you see, and I think next year someone's going to come up with this ingenious idea, but we got to raise home plate. Maybe not to the point of first, second, third base, but it can't be flat on the ground. Because what happened was he slid in, catcher's foot comes up, right? And then the debate is whether he got the foot down or not.
He was out.
I don't think he did, Gabe. I think the foot hit the beginning of the bag.
Clear as day that he was out.
No. Let me finish. You couldn't see it because there was nothing but dirt. The first time you saw the foot, yes, but the foot was 5 inches on home plate at that point. So the foot had to have touched the corner of the bag before the foot got down, but you couldn't see it because the dirt was all kicked up because the plate's on the ground. So I honestly think, absolutely, was he really technically, did he hit the corner of the bag first? Yes, he did. But you couldn't see it. So you got to call the play,
There's overhead shots. There are kind of all, what's this? Was another turnover here? Cowboys in full meltdown. Huh? Interception.
Wow.
No, not interception, fumble. So, sorry, my bad. So it was caught. He threw the ball, was caught. Ferguson caught it and fumbled it. It was Ferguson.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Down 10-0. 6:30 left in Arizona to get the ball.
Yeah. Now it's down to 43.5. What you thinking about the
One
game,
thing
Sean?
I'll say, though, that I'll throw out there. The Blue Jays are 22-1 to win the World Series next year. Now, I'm not saying they're I'm not saying they're a lock to win the World Series, but they're not going anywhere. They're super rich. Yeah. They're going to add people. They're on a mission to win. They're going to add people. They have money. They have a positive environment about them. I talked about this before. People like them. They like their players. Other players are going to go, man, that was pretty wild, man. All those fans they have. And they're gonna keep this going. And who's in the American League? They're better than the Yankees are. They're better than the Red Sox are. They're better than the Mariners are. The Astros have regressed. The Central, whatever. I'm not saying it's a lock. They're going to get, they got to do it again, but there's no reason why they can't get back there.
I think they're going to lose Bichette.
I think I think Bo sort of had one foot out the door before, Scott, but I think this sort of changes things. Right, this little emotional run, job not done, unfinished business. I mean, the guy came this close to being a hero. He hit a freaking 3-run home run, right? I mean, in Game 7. I don't think he's going to leave. They're going to pay him.
I mean, I think someone will pay him. I mean, the Yanks could pay him. I mean, who knows?
The Jays, why would the Jays want to let him? Why would he want to leave the Jays now, though? He has no reason to leave, right? They're going to pay him the money, and all of his buddies are there.
Yes, I don't know. I look at it as who's pitching for this team? The Boston, I think, would be better. And I honestly, I think the Orioles should go all in and get Skubal. I think that's where he goes. They got all the young players. You can't hold on to these guys because you see him like Adley Rutschman was like the cat's meow 2 years ago. Now he's on the trade block.
If Detroit are stupid enough to trade Skubal and not just pay him, which they probably, we'll see what happens.
But they're $200 million apart on their contracts. They're not even the same country.
They won't do it. They won't do it to an American League team. They're not going to get terrorized by him for the rest of eternity. Like they'll make sure it's to a National League team.
They still owned by Illich, the pizza guy, the Tigers. He's a gazillionaire. What is he doing? He can lock up that division. No one spends any money in that division. Why would you can lock up that division for the next 3 years?
I don't know why he's cheap, Scott. I don't get it. Like he owns the Red Wings too. He's got money. What's the problem? He owns Little Caesars. Like, what's your deal? Like, and like people will go in Detroit if you're good. Like people are going to show up. Like I don't understand his resistance to it.
Yeah, very weird. Very weird.
I'm not 22-1's not enticing me on the Blue Jays. I look at that as it was a nice little run for him.
You know what? I would say this though, guys. If
they were also 11-1, and I gave that before the year started to win the division, so it enticed me. It entices me again. They'll be good again. They're not going anywhere.
I disagree.
I don't think that number's going any higher. Let's put it that way. If you want to bet on it,
come down. Yeah.
They're going to go get somebody, Gabe. Even if they don't sign Bichette, that owner's clearly willing to spend money. So whether they
tried to get Ohtani. Ohtani admitted that he said, they were all in. I said, they were cool. Like Sasaki actually said, I came really close to being a Blue Jay. Sasaki said it.
Yeah.
There's more Japanese guys coming over. They're going to be all in, Wetzel, on them again. Like the Blue Jays are going to spend money in the offseason.
Yeah. So, all right, Arizona's got the ball at their own 35. The over-under is plummeting. 5 minutes now left to go. I can't believe this. It's 10-0.
What a joke the Cowboys are.
Oh, man. If they lose this game, it's just like they have a chance. They had a chance to kind of do something this year.
This is a typical Cowboys. I have no idea why I jumped into some player props of taking them. This is a spot where they just totally wet the bed after scoring 40 at home versus everybody else. They lose this one 22 to 9.
We'll get some picks from Sean when we come back.
They got to go win and execute, and they can't be inconsistent. And that's the thing. It's like Ohio State, Indiana, Oregon really consistent. And then who is that fourth question mark? And there's been inconsistencies throughout. Hey, Michigan goes out to the West Coast and gets manhandled, and then they come back and then they win. Like, who's the consistent one that is the fourth?
The Bobby Carpenter Show, only on SportsGrid.
Listen, never understood a word he said, but it doesn't matter because he was able to walk into living rooms and get kids to sign. It's a little different situation with the NIL now, but the reality is he represents Louisiana. He is Mr. Louisiana. You should have never fired him to begin with in this spot. So, yeah, I hope they do reconsider and bring him back.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
There's a far longer track record of the Chiefs laying huge numbers and not covering them with Mahomes than anything on the contrary.
And they did that a lot last year where they didn't cover those numbers, but a lot of the time last year they didn't have Rice and they weren't fully healthy, and now they are fully healthy. And now we have an offense that has 4 viable receivers, 2 tight ends, and 2 running backs.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
24 points, and 23 rebounds. Folks, let me tell you something. That's 23 rebounds versus Tennessee. Not Tennessee Tech, not Tennessee Chattanooga, not East Tennessee, West Tennessee, South Tennessee. I don't know how many Tennessees they got in that state. That's a university. He did it against Rick Barnes' kids.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back. It is in-game live game day. How about that? While we're away, right on cue, it's a new week, but the same old results. Touchdown, Dallas. How's that, Scott? Arizona had the ball. They were forced to punt, and the punt was blocked, and it just kind of died into the end zone. It couldn't have been done any perfectly.
It looked better than the Leon Lett play for them, Scott. Sort of similar, like right? older Cowboy fans will have memories of a ball rolling into the end zone and the Cowboys chasing it. I couldn't help but think, chasing. And this time I was like, this time I'm like, fall on it. This time, like last time, I was like, no, don't touch it, don't touch it. This time it's like, fall on it, fall on it.
You know, I remember watching the Leon Lett game in the snow against Miami there, Gabe. And you're like, well, they hit it out of bounds. Like, it was clearly he was in the end zone. Should have been whatever. But Miami ended up winning on that stupid play anyway. But, yeah, funny. Leon Lett in the snow.
Yeah, that one.
One of the most famous plays ever.
Yeah. He was the
what
part
is
of
going
two
on
of
with special teams in the NFL?
Yeah, and then, of course, the Super Bowl with BB.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I was talking about. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Even that one, they had a chance that they deflected it away.
Yeah, but that didn't. But he did that, Scott. The Cow. I'm a Bills fan, so I know. Like, Cowboys were winning, bro, like 58-17 when that happened. Like, so it didn't the
game was
he
over.
got red for like it meant nothing. It was like a complete rout of a game and stuff. But the Cowboy Dolphin game, it ended up costing them the damn game, right? So that was a different thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it cost me my box pool. I swear to God, everyone has these stories, but me and my buddy of mine split a box pool. We would have won $5,000, which, that's a lot of money, even younger when we were like in our mid-20s there, how old we were. And he's running down the field and we're yelling and screaming. I swear to God, and then we see BB knock the ball away. And we lost our box pool on that one. So, all right, so Dallas scores 10-7. Everything is locked right now, Sean. So let's assume Dallas goes back to being a 2.5-point favorite. Over-under is going to be pretty close to the 53. We got the
50.5 now.
50.5, okay. So you said you mentioned you had some props. There you go.
Arizona are 2.5-point favorites.
Yeah, Arizona's favored.
Wow, I'm a little surprised. But
I'm surprised Dallas, too. I think Dallas should be favored. Dallas will win this game. They stumbled and bumbled. Their offense hasn't scored yet, Higgs. They should put some points up on the board here.
Well, they were driving there and they fumbled the ball. So they were also the first drive of the game you mentioned. They're on the 3-yard line. We're going to go for it on 4th down. Couldn't get in. So it's not like they didn't move the ball twice. You think they're going to wake up and snap out of it against this Arizona team and pull away second half. I mean, I got Dallas for the game. I'm first half here. I thought they'd score and pick up where they left off at home here in our previous 3 games. Let's just hope you get they can still get the ball back here in the first half. They could tie it up. They could take a lead. Anything's possible.
What do you got props-wise?
I got some touchdowns. I have CD for a touchdown at even, and CD 2 touchdowns were 6-1. I grabbed a Zay Jones at 425 for Arizona there. And who else I had? I had the first touchdowns loser. I had Pickens and Williams for Dallas Small. I said, you know what? If they score first, I was high on them. I thought they'd come in and jump right into it. Let's be honest. You need some wins here, Dallas. If you have any thought about making the playoffs, you beat a team with a backup quarterback and you're scoring 40 points a game at home. Get it done.
Yeah.
Bad look by me.
Right. Well, I mean, listen, first drive, they went right down the field. I mean, so you think it was right. They did. They just didn't convert. So
nope.
Would you double down now on those plays if you didn't have them for the new viewers?
To jump in right now and do it again? No. I'd keep them the same. I'm not changing my thought process. It is what you think something of a game, whatever sport you're playing, you can't doubt yourself. You're going to have bad plays. They happen. Like you said, they went right down the field. I'm on a 40-yard line. I can't get in with my running back for a touchdown. It's a tough break.
Here comes Arizona now. Arizona to midfield. What's Brissett at now? We talked about getting to like 150 at the half and stuff. What's Brissett at now?
265 and a half.
Oh. For what?
He's at 115. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, 115 and 265.
No, but that's what I was saying. I said he'd probably be at about 150, 160 at the half. So they have the ball here with 3 minutes left. This is an opportunity for him to sort of pad that a little bit. But I think he goes over that in-game number still, too. I think, this game should open up in the second half. There's another completion.
There's no Arizona's going to say, hey, you know what? Let's control the ball here. We're up 13-7 or 17-7. Let's run the clock out for the next half hour in this football game. No way. He's going to throw the ball. That's how they're moving the ball. They're throwing it. He's not going to come in and not throw in the second half. What do you got?
He's up to 131 now.
131. Tell you, that was a bad number. 240. I don't know why that thing went down. Yeah, and it went down. Yeah, we were talking about this, Sean, about his passing totals. They can't run the ball. You're in a shootout theoretically. How's the quarterback not going to throw for 250 yards? And then it went to 238.5 before the game started.
But
he's got 138 now.
The total also came down, so it's probably they're thinking this is an under game. Everybody's thinking over. Dallas is going to score 40. It'll be whatever 37-20 or something, right? You're thinking some people thinking around that kind of score. Comes down with his yardage. Makes sense.
We're going to the 2-minute warning. And he just picked up. Like I said, there's nothing fancy about what they're doing, right? Mm-hmm. It's just dink and dunk, yards after the catch. They're running hard. They're playing hard. And it's working for them. They just picked up like another 7 yards. Like I said, he dumped it off. They got another 7. So he's up to 138 right now. Yep. Jacoby Brissett, 138. We're at the 2-minute warning.
Relatively fast-moving game, surprisingly enough. Now, you helped out, obviously, by the extra possession, right? I mean, it should be theoretically Dallas ball right now, but that's what happens when you get, punt returns.
And it was quick at least, though. Like you said before the game, that we thought it'd be sort of a longer game. You figured it'd be points and commercials and touchdowns and kickoffs, etc. But it's been pretty brisk so far. But don't worry. The referees are leaving it out, Scott.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Total's back up to 50.5. The total was 46.5 at one point, back up to 51.
Yeah. It's 43.5 at one point. So, you got a quick college basketball lock for us?
Sure. You want my college? I'm up to a terrible start today. I like.
All right, never mind.
K-State tomorrow. Let's look at tomorrow. K-State, Portland State.
Tomorrow we play. Holy crow.
They got to go win and execute, and they can't be inconsistent. And that's the thing. It's like Ohio State, Indiana, Oregon, really consistent. And then who is that fourth question mark? And there's been inconsistencies throughout. Hey, Michigan goes out to the West Coast and gets manhandled, and then they come back and then they win. Like, who's the consistent one that is the fourth?
The Bobby Carpenter Show, only on SportsGrid.
Listen, never understood a word he said, but it doesn't matter because he was able to walk into living rooms and get kids to sign. It's a little different situation with the NIL now, but the reality is he represents Louisiana. He is Mr. Louisiana. What better? You should have never fired him to begin with in this spot. So, yeah, I hope they do reconsider and bring him back.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
There's a far longer track record of the Chiefs laying huge numbers and not covering them with Mahomes than anything on the contrary.
And they did that a lot last year where they didn't cover those numbers, but a lot of the time last year they didn't have Rice and they weren't fully healthy, and now they are fully healthy. And now we have an offense that has 4 viable receivers, 2 tight ends, and 2 running backs.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
24 points, and 23 rebounds. Folks, let me tell you something. That's 23 rebounds versus Tennessee. Not Tennessee Tech, not Tennessee Chattanooga, not East Tennessee, West Tennessee, South Tennessee. I don't know how many Tennessees they got in that state. That's a university. He did it against Rick Barnes' kids.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the grid. Thanks again, Sean Higgs joining us, as he does on Mondays, sometimes Thursdays as well. Winnersandwhiners.com is the website for all the plays, all the picks from Sean, winnersandwhiners.com. So, all right, so a couple things here. First, back to the NFL to update that. So Arizona's got it 3rd and 3 at the Dallas 35 with just under 2 minutes left. Late
They pick up the first down.
now. They got the first down. Wow. Fanduel's a little slow.
Yeah.
All right.
And
so
you know,
50.5 is the total.
You know they want to eat up the rest of the first half here if they can as well, right? So they're going to be in no rush to finish things up. But it was another pass play, little screen pass.
Nice.
I say, like we said, like Dallas, your strategy, you're getting nickel and dime to death, guys. Like he's 14 of 20 for 146 yards right now in the first half. And there's nothing complicated about this. Like he's literally throwing screen passes almost on every play.
Yeah.
Like look at the Dallas DBs. They're literally lined up like 10, 12 yards off the line of scrimmage. They did it again. Like it's almost like Scott where it's like, all right, if you guys aren't going to stop this, we're going to do this every play. Like they did it again. They're like, all right, just dump it off to the running back again. They're like, all right, just dump it off like little, and they're not running it, Scott. It's like controlled runs, passing. You know what I mean? They're like, all right, snap, throw.
Right.
That's all he did. Look, watch this. Look, snap, throw. Is picked up like 9 yards. Like Dallas are nowhere. Like look how far they're lined up, man. It's insane.
Yeah. That's how it was with the touchdown pass, even.
8 yards. I'm looking now. 8 and 9 yards. They're 8 and 9 yards off the line of scrimmage. How about jamming them up, Scott, at the line of scrimmage?
Yeah.
And
the crazy thing
how about
is
disrupting in this? Like, how about you're literally just letting them run their routes without touching them? Like, no one is getting touched on Arizona, at the line of scrimmage.
Exactly. And that allows the quarterback now, that gives the quarterback basically an extra second. You have 3.5 seconds. That's the average amount of time.
Field. He can look over. I got a couple of guys. All right, I'll go here. It's almost like college football for them now. It's just easy. All right, throw to the open guy right there.
And, I don't think it's going to change. Like, if they hold them to a field goal here, and Dallas goes into halftime, if they don't, reciprocate with the points for them, but they go down 13-7, I could see Dallas saying, all right, guys, you know what? It's working. We're in the game. We're only down 1 score.
Yeah, you're probably right. They're probably thinking, we only gave up 10 points. Yeah, or 13
we
right
gave
now.
10,
you're
13
right.
points. So why change things? Offense, do your job. Our defense
and let's not forget,
is doing it okay.
Dallas has not scored. Hasn't been their offense either. Let's not forget that, guys, right? It was a block punt. And block punt, the kicker punted it right into the face, of a guy in a Cowboys.
I know, he had no shot. He had no shot. He might as well have just taken
we'll give him credit, Scott, for the block punt, but it was kind of one of those, you guys are kind of lucky, man. The guy kind of kicked it right into his head. Now they can't stop the run. So, now they're just running on him here. They're about to score. They're on the 1 yard line, 2 yard line now.
Dallas
this is bad. I would call a timeout if I was Dallas. Exactly.
Yeah,
I'd be like, all right, dude, we got to call a timeout here. We can't just let them bleed the half.
Yeah. I mean, that's stupid not to. I'm seeing it's 3rd down here. I'm sure I'm a little bit behind, but why would you let that run all the way down to the 1 minute mark? I mean, you got 2 timeouts. So
now they call the timeout. But the thing is, he calls timeout on 1st and goal now. So it's like, dude, it's kind of point. It's at this point, it's like, all right, 1st and goal. All right, fine. They have 4 cracks at this from the 3 yard line.
Now,
so you
now you don't want to call timeout.
They're still going to kill the clock. You waited too long.
Yeah.
I would have been calling timeout right away when they're at the 20 yard line type thing. Put it this way, Scott. If you went
you were not stopping them.
You didn't kick a field goal to start the game because you were thinking we need points and the 3 won't matter. Then you got to be thinking I got to call timeouts and try to score here because points matter so much. Right? It's kind of counterproductive what he's doing here.
Yeah. The clock, Gabe, is not going to stop Arizona this drive. Somewhere along the line, we have to stop them. They had plenty of time. They had timeouts. So we might as well call the timeouts. This way, when we do stop them or when they score a touchdown, we'll have a good minute and a half or so left. That's why you do it. You got to figure out the time, figure out how many timeouts they have, and just say to yourself, are they going to be time essence in trouble? And the answer is no. They
just called exactly. So they got 48 seconds now. So now Dallas have no control of the clock after this play again. We're right back. They're right back to square one. I imagine Arizona goes for it too, right? In the modern NFL, no one's kicking field goals, so they're going to go 2 cracks at this here right now.
Yeah, from the 1 yard line, I would think. So, wow, this could be 17-7, Arizona. We'll see when we come back. Naturally, got to go to a break at the goal line. That's how things go.
Oh, there'll be a touchdown then coming up. Right now.
Probably.
They got to go win and execute, and they can't be inconsistent. And that's the thing. It's like Ohio State, Indiana, Oregon, really consistent. And then who is that fourth question mark? And there's been inconsistencies throughout. Hey, Michigan goes out to the West Coast and gets manhandled, and then they come back and then they win. Like, who's the consistent one that is the fourth?
The Bobby Carpenter Show, only on SportsGrid.
Listen, never understood a word he said, but it doesn't matter because he was able to walk into living rooms and get kids to sign. It's a little different situation with the NIL now, but the reality is he represents Louisiana. He is Mr. Louisiana. What bet you should have never fired him to begin with in this spot. So, yeah, I hope they do reconsider and bring him back.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
There's a far longer track record of the Chiefs laying huge numbers and not covering them with Mahomes than anything on the contrary.
And they did that a lot last year where they didn't cover those numbers, but a lot of the time last year they didn't have Rice and they weren't fully healthy, and now they are fully healthy. And now we have an offense that has 4 viable receivers, 2 tight ends, and 2 running backs.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
24 points, and 23 rebounds. Folks, let me tell you something. That's 23 rebounds versus Tennessee. Not Tennessee Tech, not Tennessee Chattanooga, not East Tennessee, West Tennessee, South Tennessee. I don't know how many Tennessees they got in that state. That's a university. He did it against Rick Barnes' kids.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
Hi, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day on the Grid. And as we mentioned before Gabe and I went to break, touchdown Arizona. We figured it would be when we went to break. So a little quarterback sneak, Jacoby Brissett. I tell you, I think there were like 12 quarterbacks that scored touchdowns this week. That's why I put a little goofy little $10 parlay on Brissett and Dak Prescott. I'm a big believer on what happens Sundays generally happens on Mondays. And maybe there's just something in the air about quarterbacks scoring touchdowns this week because, man, a gazillion of them have. So I got that little parlay that's alive because Brissett snuck it in from 1 yard out. So 17-7, Arizona with the lead. Now they're back up to, 5.5 it was before I saw it? Yeah, 5.5 and 52.5. So it's back to basically the original number. And you still got,
I got
almost
a 54.5
left for Dak. 54 now, wow. That's
we got 54.5. With the total right now, 5.5 point spread. I just jumped in on Dak Prescott over 249.5 passing yards. And listen, it hasn't been an explosive first half for him at all. 6 of 12 for 63 yards only. Meanwhile, me and Scott both were on Brissett over passing yards tonight. He's got 158. Yeah. I said about half an hour ago he should be at about 160 at the half, and here we are. He's at 158. Now I just jumped in on Dak. There's still 49 seconds left, so this is an opportunity for Dak to, hopefully put, 40, 50 yards on the board here. And let's not forget, too, the Dallas Cowboys have one of the best long-distance kickers in the league. Congratulations to the dude yesterday for breaking the record and making the 68-yarder. Maybe that gets broken right now, Scott, actually. Oh, we got a big return, actually. So out to the 40. But, yeah, Aubrey can drill long kicks. So Dallas getting 3 points is far from out of the question, and I'm expecting it.
Yeah. And if you don't want to go maybe. Dak, yeah, I mean, listen, you certainly can go CD Lamb. He's only has 20 yards. You know he's going to be getting the ball. They're giving you 70.5. So, they just locked it, unfortunately. But, all right, so now because Dallas has the ball. But, that's where you got to, look at those things before they get the ball. But still, hopefully.
Especially before the half. Love these little things. So I got the bet in the second the touchdown was scored. I got the bet in when we went to the break. Yeah. They're in a must-pass situation in the next couple of plays here, right? So you can sort of just pad your stats a little bit. But first down, he throws it out of bounds. He didn't have anyone to throw it to. You figure, man, and the thing is Arizona give up a lot of passing yards too. You figure between Pickens, Ferguson, and CD Lamb, Scott, somebody would be open. But, what the hell's wrong with these people?
Yeah.
Oh, God. We bet on Dak, and now a big guy, Calais Campbell, just fell on Dak's ankle. Great. Watch him run. You got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. He's limping, but he's still in the game. But
he's an accident waiting to happen. So I want to bet on a couple of Arizona players, rushing the yards, right? Bam Knight, he has 11. They're giving you 35.5. But other than that, Michael Carter's got none. They're giving you 2.5. And Jacoby Brissett has got 1. They're giving you 8.5. I mean, so they clearly don't think they're going to be rushing the ball in the second half, albeit with a 10-point lead. So I wouldn't have any problems going back to some of those receptions. All right.
Ferguson prop players will like it. He's racking up some catches here. He just Dak keeps just sort of dumping it off to Ferguson. And dear God, did they mismanage this? Seriously, guys, you got to be kidding me. I just don't understand the amount of time that they took. Everything. Well, they're going to try. Like I said, kidding about the all-time record. He's going to get a crack at this. This looks like it's going to be about a 68, 69, 70-yard field goal type thing.
That's because on second down, they threw in the middle of the field, which was dopey.
Yeah, so Cam Little yesterday set the record, right? It was 66 before.
Yeah.
And Cam Little of the Jags hit so he could tie this one right now. It's 68 yards.
You would think, right? Just move the ball. If you're the field goal kicker, if I'm going to hit from 58, then move it back a yard.
Especially after the record yesterday.
Yeah, throw me a ball. Let me hit this thing. If I'm going to hit it, make it
he missed. He missed.
Wow. Short or just wide?
Wide by quite a bit, too.
Okay. He was trying to yank it.
I'm surprised.
No problem, right?
Normally,
Hail Mary.
No, I'm not worried. No. Generally, that's the worst kick I've seen Aubrey do. On one of these long ones. He wasn't close. He drilled it, but it sailed way left. It just sort of started to drift. I'm surprised it wasn't closer, to be honest. I thought, with him, it's not crazy. 68 yards in these conditions on this field at home. We saw it yesterday with Jacksonville, so it is what it is. But
had the distance. He did have the distance, but he yanked it left.
How about this, Scott? Yeah. They just showed the graphic. Arizona, 5 losses this year when leading at the half, most in the NFL.
Well, let's bet Dallas, right? That is something.
Already on Dallas, but let's see. Let's hope. So, yeah, they're getting 6.5, the Cowboys now. Wow.
Plus 310. Yeah. That's I'm a little surprised with that as well. But, yeah, I have no problem them going for it versus a Hail Mary. The guy can boom it. The distance wasn't the issue, so it was just...
Yeah, they should have done a little bit.
He would have been off from 40. That was that far away.
Yeah. So. They should have done a little bit of a favor. They mismanaged it, though. You had 49 seconds, and somehow you run out of time at the 51-yard line.
Yeah.
That shouldn't happen.
3 plays. Yeah.
You got a good return to the 40 or something, too. So, you basically, you're a little dink and dunk, dude. We don't have time for this right now. Seriously. That was just, no one was getting open deep down the field. But at that point, you even think, all right, listen. We're not scoring a touchdown here. Let's make this. Let's give them a chance where it's a 60-yarder instead of a 70-yarder here, and just throw it to the sideline. But they mismanaged it.
Yeah, it was the second down. First down was fine to get out of bounds, and then the second down, he just automatically threw it to the tight end who was not anywhere close to the sideline, and he cut it to the middle, and boom, there was basically your game. Then they had to rush on third down. They didn't want to spike it, obviously, and the third down was the 2-yard completion. and all of a sudden you're down to 5 seconds.
Does help our
Because that's
Ferguson
second
props
down.
a little bit, right? Any yards we can take, Scott.
Yeah.
We did bet Ferguson over 39.5.
Yeah.
So for the record, Ferguson's at 27.
Yeah,
and
27.
I would take, so he's at 27, 4 catches. And it's funny because I said all the yards, his reception prop was 4.5. So he's already at 4 right now, 27. CeeDee Lamb, 2 catches, 20 yards. Like we talk about star players and how people get burnt with this stuff often. Pickens, 2 catches, 28 yards. But I think Ferguson's going to be a big part of this in the second half. We see that Dak throws to him. It's his little safety valve. Like he throws to him all the time. And also CeeDee Lamb and Pickens aren't getting open. And or the Dallas Cowboy offensive line really is protecting Dak long enough that they can
That's the problem.
wait that long. If you'll notice, Scott, when they try to throw it deep, he's got to roll out. He's under pressure. Like the play doesn't have time to develop. So you got to believe their offense gets better in the second half. I'm going to look at Jake Ferguson props in the second half here. I'll get some numbers for this. But I think Ferguson is a go-to in the second half here for props. And how about Marvin Harrison? 6 catches for 80 yards in the first half.
Yeah. It doesn't happen often, Gabe, but I'm more confident in Arizona doing what they did again and keep on betting Harrison. And you're getting, obviously, a big discount. Like CeeDee Lamb has got 20, but they're giving you 63.5.
Yeah, it's only 106.5
got
now.
80.
It's only 27 yards. That's what I got.
Yeah, FanDuel's got it at 110.5. They get a little bit more.
Really, yeah.
So,
yeah.
but even that,
You figure.
Yeah, 17-7, like we said before. I don't know if Dallas is going to go into the locker room saying, oh, my gosh, that didn't work. I really think they're going to go into the locker room saying, all right.
No, I think they're
okay,
blaming their
we're
offense, not their defense here.
Yeah.
I think they'll think, we did what we did. We stopped them. Exactly. 17's not that bad, even though it's not great. But, you're right. I don't think they're in a defensive crisis right now.
Right. And Zona's lost so many close games, and you said it, 5 leads at halftime they've lost. I don't think all of a sudden they're going to say, all right, we're going to start running the ball second half. I think they're going to do exactly what they did. So I got no problem. I'd like to see McBride get a little bit more. He's only at 17, but Harrison's getting open. If they're going to lay off him, he'll have those 30 yards by the end of the third quarter. Heck, next drive. So, and don't forget, Arizona gets the ball first. And Arizona gets the ball first, too, to start the second half. In-game live continues here on the grid.
They got to go win and execute, and they can't be inconsistent. And that's the thing. It's like Ohio State, Indiana, Oregon, really consistent. And then who is that fourth question mark? And there's been inconsistencies throughout. Hey, Michigan goes out to the West Coast and gets manhandled, and then they come back and then they win. Like, who's the consistent one that is the fourth?
The Bobby Carpenter Show, only on SportsGrid.
Listen, never understood a word he said, but it doesn't matter because he was able to walk into living rooms and get kids to sign. It's a little different situation with the NIL now, but the reality is he represents Louisiana. He is Mr. Louisiana. What better? You should have never fired him to begin with in this spot. So, yeah, I hope they do reconsider and bring him back.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
There's a far longer track record of the Chiefs laying huge numbers and not covering them with Mahomes than anything on the contrary.
And they did that a lot last year where they didn't cover those numbers, but a lot of the time last year they didn't have Rice and they weren't fully healthy, and now they are fully healthy. And now we have an offense that has 4 viable receivers, 2 tight ends, and 2 running backs.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
24 points, and 23 rebounds. Folks, let me tell you something. That's 23 rebounds versus Tennessee. Not Tennessee Tech, not Tennessee Chattanooga, not East Tennessee, West Tennessee, South Tennessee. I don't know how many Tennessees they got in that state. That's a university. He did it against Rick Barnes' kids.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe reach halftime here. We'll say upset in the making. I don't remember. There's so many games, so it's hard to. But number 20, Auburn college basketball trailing Bethune-Cookman 72-71 with 3 minutes and change left to go. I think that is actually a home game for Auburn as well. Yikes.
They're going to fire the coach?
Yeah,
like
get him out of there. That's it. Like Hugh Freeze. Yeah, you get one game. That's it. College hoops. So we're at halftime. 17-7 is the number. Let me give you the lines here. 6.5 for Arizona, the favorite. They do get the ball first. 50.5 is the over-under. Let's bring in our good buddy Tom Vecchio. Joins us for our little halftime report here. Get some second-half bets from him. What's going on, Tom? How are you tonight?
I'm doing good. Game's a little bit slower than I think a lot of people anticipated with the total over 50. We're really not seeing a whole lot of offense when it's all said and done. You know, the Cowboys came up empty to start the game when they were inside the 10, and the touchdown they have was a punt block. So, you know, their offense really hasn't done anything, and it's going to be a full passing game script for them if they're going to be playing from behind by, you know, at minimum 2 scores before, the Cardinals get the ball to start the third.
So, do you bet Dallas? Did you bet Arizona today? And where, more importantly, would you go right now? Over, under?
So, I only have props in this game. The fact that the line moved to 3.5, I think that was a good spot to take the Cardinals. But I'm on Ferguson over 40.5 receiving yards. He's already got 27. He's trending towards that. I like Jacoby Brissett under 35.5 pass attempts. He's up at 22, so that's not going in my direction right now. They are leading, so maybe they scale back on the passing. But I really do think Ferguson's going to come through with the big second half. He's coming off a donut game last week. They just had to get him involved.
We saw they went right back to him after the fumble as well. And he's got 4 catches, 27 yards. I played him over 39.5 yards as well. But I'm thinking, Tom, I don't like the juice. And I'm always looking for, you know, the plus money and, you know, some sort of value. So there's no value on this. But I went over 6.5 receptions at minus 180, believing, listen, I think you can get 3 catches on the first drive when they touch the ball again. We see that no one else is getting open, right? Either the play, either the offensive line isn't protecting Dak long enough for the play to develop, and they don't show enough, you know, different angles, which I'd like to see. Where the hell is Pickens and where is CeeDee Lamb? I mean, the Arizona Cardinals have been getting gashed through the air by everybody. How come the Dallas Cowboys can't throw the ball tonight is baffling to me.
Right, and just from what I've seen, like and sometimes I feel Dallas runs the receivers a little bit too much outside the numbers, and you got to attack the middle of the field. Like, you need to have one of the guys on the outside. That's totally fine. You want that deep ball threat. Have someone else crossing deep, have Ferguson crossing low, and then that's where you have, like, different options down the field, short, middle, and deep. And that's where I think they should be utilizing either Lamb or Pickens. But Pickens on the outside numbers, Lamb crossing deep, and then Ferguson underneath. And then you have the options for Dak to move the ball. And this is assuming that they're not running the ball at a decent rate.
Yeah. Arizona gets the ball first, right? So FanDuel has these goofy props. I don't generally, go into these markets, but it's been a pretty good weekend, pretty good night anyway. So first drive for Arizona, player to catch a pass, Marvin Harrison Jr., plus 130. If you think he's going to catch 2 on the drive, plus 650. I won't push it, but I don't think Gabe and I were talking before, Tom. I don't think Dallas's defense is going to change much. I think they're going to go into the locker room saying, all right, we held them 17 points. Not bad, guys. I know we're giving up a ton of yards, but so I don't think things are going to change. And I don't think Arizona, which has blown 5 first half leads, is going to change things. I don't think they're going to all of a sudden come out throwing the football. So you see the numbers there for Harrison, 1 touchdown, 80 yards, 6 receptions. Is he not going to get 1 catch for plus 130? Worth a shot?
So you think it's a wacky market? I love this market. Honestly, I legitimately love this market. Big fan of Amon-Ra St. Brown for the Lions when it comes to this market. And it really comes down to watching the games. So when a star player does not catch a pass for multiple drives, I love betting him on that subsequent drive. I really do. So whether it be a Jake Ferguson, who is plus 120, Gabe, you want to find some value, like there are alternate routes to go instead of just taking their live prop. Like, okay, he dropped it. They want to go right back to him. He's the guy that they trust. Let's go to him. So when it comes to the Cardinals, I'd rather take a shot with Marv Harrison at plus 120 or plus 130 rather than Trey McBride. Although I do think they want to get Trey McBride involved because he had a very slow first half. maybe you don't want to go to him at minus money. It is only minus 105, but following the player usage, I do like going to this market. It's very granular, and you have to be on top of it every drive and in between the commercials.
They did lower.
I'll throw out here right now.
Bastards.
I'll throw out here.
They're watching
it's not the football game, but Villanova and BYU are getting ready to tip off right now. I'm taking the Villanova Wildcats plus the 9.5 points in this basketball game. BYU are overly overhyped coming into the season, right? And I'm not saying that they're overhyped and they're not going to be good, but they're so heavily hyped that they're overvalued from a line perspective. They shouldn't be laying 10 points, in my opinion, in this game. Give me the Villanova Wildcats tonight, but I'm curious to see how this plays out with the Phenom, the first ever $5 million a year player.
I don't have any thoughts on that.
Basketball? Okay.
I did not.
Did you bet any college basketball tonight? No?
No college basketball for me. Carolina Hurricanes money line tomorrow against the Rangers.
Ah, okay. Why is that?
I mean, the Rangers are coming off an overperforming road trip. It's also when we see East Coast teams coming back after a West Coast trip, they often start off slow. Canes are coming off a tough loss. I think the Canes are the better team, clearly. You give me minus 130 on them. I'll take that. Also take the 60-minute line at plus 105.
Toronto Maple Leafs came back down 3-0 against Pittsburgh. How about that? They tied it at 3.
They got the third. I thought it was 3-2.
Yeah, they scored again. So that was the 3 quickies. What'd you play in hockey tonight? Anything?
I had actually no hockey plays tonight. I didn't like it. It was a really weird slate. I didn't know what to expect from Vancouver. They're dealing with injuries, but Quinn Hughes came back today. The Oilers should win. They're up 2-0 last time I saw on the road. I just didn't like the slate. There wasn't enough out there. Tomorrow will be much better.
Yeah, St. Louis lost 7 in a row. Boy, any momentum they had from last year, it's not happening so far this season. It's really, and a lot of these at home where they were phenomenal. So, Tom, great job.
Well, do you remember how they lost last year?
Yeah, bad. Thanks, Tom.
They got to go win and execute, and they can't be inconsistent. And that's the thing. It's like Ohio State, Indiana, Oregon, really consistent. And then who is that fourth question mark? And there's been inconsistencies throughout. Hey, Michigan goes out to the West Coast and gets manhandled, and then they come back and then they win. Like, who's the consistent one that is the fourth?
The Bobby Carpenter Show, only on SportsGrid.
Listen, never understood a word he said, but it doesn't matter because he was able to walk into living rooms and get kids to sign. It's a little different situation with the NIL now, but the reality is he represents Louisiana. He is Mr. Louisiana. What better? You should have never fired him to begin with in this spot. So, yeah, I hope they do reconsider and bring him back.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
There's a far longer track record of the Chiefs laying huge numbers and not covering them with Mahomes than anything on the contrary.
And they did that a lot last year where they didn't cover those numbers, but a lot of the time last year they didn't have Rice and they weren't fully healthy, and now they are fully healthy. And now we have an offense that has 4 viable receivers, 2 tight ends, and 2 running backs.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
24 points, and 23 rebounds. Folks, let me tell you something. That's 23 rebounds versus Tennessee. Not Tennessee Tech, not Tennessee Chattanooga, not East Tennessee, West Tennessee, South Tennessee. I don't know how many Tennessees they got in that state. That's a university. He did it against Rick Barnes' kids.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back. In-game live, game day here on the grid. So Arizona, thanks again, Tom Vecchio, for joining us, Sports Grid host. We see it here all the time here on the grid. Arizona, what, 3 plays? Literally, they got a 1st and goal at the Dallas 7-yard line. 1 pass play long, 1 long running play game, in which I swear to God, no exaggeration, there were like 6 Cowboys around Bam Knight, the running back for Arizona, and somehow or another, he went untouched in between the 6 all the way down to the 5-yard line, 7-yard line, whatever it was. They're so slow on that Cowboy defense. It's amazing.
The schemes.
1st and goal.
The schemes are so baffling as well. They never seem to be even within the screenshot of the play. Everybody's wide open. The running back runs for 6 yards before he gets touched. Like, everything is just sort of very practice-like. Like, look at this, the touchdown, Trey McBride touchdown. It's like they're scrimmaging almost. Like, look at this play. Like, he drops back, boom, throws the ball. No one gets touched. It's not difficult for anybody. It almost looks like the Arizona Cardinals are running like an offense against like the 2nd-string defense in practice or something. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like a college team. All right, we're going to play the scout team here, and let's see what happens. Like, look, like not even touched. No one was even touched. Like, they're literally, this is like Brissett's not being touched.
And again, the defensive back, 7-8 yards, behind the wide receiver. All of them.
It's like the Cowboys are playing flag football. Like, Arizona players won't need the hot tub in the morning, Scott. Like, they never got touched.
Yeah.
Be like, no, I never really, no one on the Cowboys ever hit me. Like, look how far number 14 is. And even it's so bad that number 14 tried to push the Cardinal out of bounds after, and he even missed when he pushed him. He never even touched them then.
Yeah.
Like, even after the play, out of anger, he tried to shove him, and he missed him.
It's amazing. Again, that was single coverage. In the red zone, in the end zone. Forget the red zone.
He's up to 220% right now. Yeah, and it was easy, Scott, too. It wasn't a complicated route. They had McBride run, cut, boom. Like, it was just basically like I said, it's like they're running a practice drill. And
really
Dallas it's like they're air. Dallas's defense is air right now. They're just there. They're pylons.
Yeah. They're playing like it's the 2-minute warning and you're up by 3 scores. And you just, all right, let them throw the ball in front of you. Don't worry about it. Don't press them. Don't bump them.
I don't think this was Arizona's game plan, Scott. I think they're seeing that, you know what? They're just not stopping.
I think so.
They're not adjusting. And let's just keep doing it over and over and over and over.
Yeah.
Look, he's up to 220 right
line
now.
Probably went down. Yeah, and that's why that line went down to 238. The boys in Vegas, they always get all this knowledge, and then they probably, said, okay, that they're not going to throw the ball. They're not going to throw it deep. They're going to run the ball, and then they see Dallas.
They're getting killed on this as long as Brissett doesn't get hurt. Let's not mush this, but we're one drive away from winning.
Yeah, don't mush it.
We're not there yet. We're not there yet.
I've seen crazy things happen. We need Dallas to score here. You want to take 3, 4, 5 minutes off the clock, Dallas? That's okay. Just score. Yeah, like a 2-score game against Arizona is like pick 'em. So 3 scores they might.
24-7 now. I'm seeing 9.5 and 56.5. I'm kicking myself for just not riding the Arizona in a teaser side of things, but I don't really, I figure, all right, Dallas aren't that bad. Their offense is good. They should be able to score some points. You know what I mean? I thought. They haven't scored a point, Scott. Let's not forget it. We got to reiterate this, everybody. The Dallas Cowboys offense did not score. They scored on a block punt, and even that was fluky.
Yeah.
It hit the guy in the helmet, and it rolled into the end zone. That's their touchdown tonight.
Yeah. I mean, how many drives have they even had? They had the opening drive, right? Then they punted 2. Then they fumbled 3. And then they missed the field goal, which almost doesn't count the last drive. I mean, they really only had the ball 3 times. If you want to throw out that last drive when they got it with less than a minute left before halftime, that's it. I mean,
they got to pick up the pace now. So there's no more ifs, ands, or buts about it. They got to pick up the pace.
75 yards passing for Dak. What are they giving us? 255.5. It's a decent number. 180 yards passing, but I can't see them running the ball.
You said it with Jacoby. It won't stop. They're not just like Arizona's not going to say, let's just start running the ball. It's too easy for them to throw the ball right now. They're like, it's why go away from it? So I'm saying he's 301.5 right now, and he probably goes over that. But he's at 220, Jacoby Brissett, right now.
And the
Dallas
passes
on
are so
offense.
short.
I was going to
Go
say
ahead.
they need success on first downs. This is a problem for Dallas tonight. Right? There's too many first down, pass the ball, and he throws it out of bounds, and then they're playing from behind the sticks. Like, they're always in a 3rd and long, it seems, Dallas tonight. They got to get ahead of schedule a bit.
Yeah. All right, in-game live game day. Quick break. Back to the board we go here on the grid.